Mead Steel Education Productions and Rocking M Studios presents a video read-along. Chapter 4-2, Photosynthesis, a closer look. With course instructor, Mr. Ronald Jowsey.
Chapter 4-2, Photosynthesis, a closer look. During photosynthesis, plants use the energy of light to produce glucose, C6H12O6, from carbon dioxide, CO2, and water, H2O. Glucose is a simple sugar monosaccharide that plants use for energy and as a building block for larger molecules, polysaccharides. A byproduct of photosynthesis is oxygen. Plants use some of the oxygen they produce for cellular respiration and the production of ATP, but most of it is released. To study photosynthesis, we can design and run experiments. One such experiment is to monitor oxygen production in a freshwater plant to determine the rate of photosynthesis under varying conditions. If we place a freshwater plant like Alodia into a tank and place it in sunlight, we can measure the rate of photosynthesis by measuring the amount of oxygen produced. The bubbles shown in the image to the right are oxygen bubbles, being produced by the plant during photosynthesis. During photosynthesis, light energy is used to convert carbon dioxide, CO2, and water, H2O, into glucose, C6H12O6, and oxygen, O2. The complex series of chemical reactions is summarized by the following formula. 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus light energy produce C6H12O6 plus 6O2. Question 1. What is one way we can determine the rate of photosynthesis? If we place a freshwater plant like Alodia into a tank and place it in sunlight, we can measure the rate of photosynthesis by measuring the amount of oxygen produced by the plant. Question 2. During photosynthesis, light energy is used to convert blank and blank into blank and blank. During photosynthesis, light energy is used to convert carbon dioxide, CO2, and water, H2O, into glucose, C6H12O6, and oxygen, O2. Question 3. What are the bubbles in the image shown above, and what process is creating them? The bubbles shown in the image above are oxygen bubbles being produced by the plant during photosynthesis. Effect of temperature on photosynthesis. Plants have an optimal temperature for photosynthesis. Different types of plants have different optimal temperatures for photosynthesis. For example, plants that grow in cold climates will be more efficient when undergoing photosynthesis in cooler temperatures than plants that normally grow in warmer climates. Question 4. Explain how temperature might affect the rate of photosynthesis. Plants that grow in cold climates will be more efficient when undergoing photosynthesis in cooler temperatures than plants that normally grow in warmer climates. Effect of light intensity and light color on photosynthesis. The intensity of light that a plant is exposed to can affect the rate of photosynthesis. Generally speaking, more intense light will increase the rate of photosynthesis, and a lack of light will cause the rate of photosynthesis to decrease or stop altogether. Inside a plant's chloroplasts is the green pigment, chlorophyll. The chlorophyll absorbs light energy so that photosynthesis can occur. Chlorophyll gives plants their green color. Because we see plants as green, we know that the green light is reflected by the plant and not absorbed by the plant to be used for photosynthesis. Question 5. What color light is least effective at increasing the rate of photosynthesis in a plant, and why? Green light is least effective at increasing the rate of photosynthesis because plants reflect green light and do not absorb it to use for photosynthesis. Question 6. A student noticed that the freshwater plant, Elodia, produced bubbles when placed in direct light. What could the student most likely conclude? A student could most likely conclude 2. Bubbles of oxygen were produced as a result of photosynthesis. Question 7. An experiment was performed using 4 plants of the same species. Each plant was placed in an identical container under the same environmental conditions. Carbon dioxide was added to each container. Each plant was then exposed to a different color of light. After 72 hours, the volume of carbon dioxide in each container was measured. The measured data is shown in the table below. Which statement would most likely explain the different volumes of carbon dioxide after 72 hours? Choice 4. Photosynthesis occurs best under certain colors of light. Effect of carbon dioxide on photosynthesis. Because carbon dioxide, CO2, is necessary for photosynthesis, the amount of available carbon dioxide can directly affect the rate of photosynthesis. For example, if carbon dioxide is removed from a plant's environment, the rate of photosynthesis would steadily decrease and eventually stop altogether. As you can see by looking at the data table and graph above, the amount of oxygen produced changes with different carbon dioxide levels. When the available CO2 lowers below 600 ppm, parts per million, the rate of photosynthesis decreases and eventually reaches 0 when no CO2 is present. Chapter 4-2 Summary. The process of photosynthesis can be affected by environmental factors. The factors affecting the rate of photosynthesis are considered limiting factors. Limiting factors of photosynthesis include 1. Intensity and color of light. 2. Amount of available CO2. And 3. Temperature of the environment. Use what you have learned from this lesson to answer the Chapter 4-2 review questions given below. Don't forget to turn in the assignment when you've completed it.